Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've posted a YouTube video. I want to try and be more consistent with my videos, but this past month since I posted my first video has been really difficult for me, and I've been, como se dice, fighting my demons. So I am just in pain, but also ready to get back to my channel and start to produce more consistent content. I'd really ideally like to be putting out like 2 videos a month, maybe 3 to start. And that brings us to today, and I'm going to be doing an August TBR. August is actually my birthday month, so I'm really excited about that. I am doing a birthday book shopping spree, so I hope to also have another small book haul up later this month about my birthday book haul, and I wanted to share this with you guys even though it's already halfway through the month already. So let's just get right into it. So for the month of August, I have kind of a theme going on. I don't know if you've noticed, but most of the books are pink or red or some sort of reddish pinkish hue. And I didn't intend for it to be that way. It just kind of happened. I was picking my books sort of willy-nilly, just really going with like my mood and what I felt like reading and what looked good. And I got about 3 or 4 books in and I realized these are all pink. I just kind of stuck with the theme. So the first book that we have here is kind of just like a gimme book because it's a graphic novel, so I'm going to be able to read it really quickly. In fact, I'll let you in on a little secret. I've already read this book, but also it's halfway through August, so I should be a decent amount through this. And it is the Heartstopper Volume 3. I know there's 5 or 6 books in the series, and I have the first 5, and I don't want to read these too fast. I can sit down and read these within like 30-40 minutes, and I just really want to continue the series, so I decided to throw it on there this month for my TBR. The next book on my TBR is a Book of the Month book. I got it a couple months ago. It's How to End a Love Story by Yulin Huang, and I'm really excited to try this one. It's essentially a book about a woman who works in a writer's room with a guy who had a part in her sister's death a long time ago, and they eventually fall for each other, and the book is supposed to be navigating those themes of like grief and moving on and finding love and forgiveness, and it just sounds really good. I hope to be able to get into this one this month. This is kind of the one that I was like, out of all the books here, if I don't get to this one this month, it's okay, but I really do want to try and read it because this has been on my TBR for a really long time, and I've also heard really good things about it. The book that I have here is called Fair Rosaline by Natasha Solomons. It is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I am pretty excited to read this. I picked it up on a whim at Barnes & Noble. There was a couple actually Romeo and Juliet retellings that I came across that day, and I was really intrigued by this one, so I picked this one up as well as another one. But this is the one that I want to read this month. It is about the girl who Romeo was into before he met Juliet. I don't know if any of you guys have actually like read Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. We had to do it for a project in high school, and we also watched the Baz Luhrmann version of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. So good, so good. I actually want to rewatch it because I'm reading this book. But it's about Rosaline, and she's who Romeo was with before, and this is about their love story, and then Romeo leaves her for her cousin Juliet, who is 13, and it says that Rosaline is in danger of being sent away to a nunnery, and before she gets sent away to a nunnery, she needs to try and save Juliet's life, because her being with Romeo has somehow turned into like this life or death situation, and it's supposed to be sort of like feminist themes in it. So I think that sounds really interesting. I'm not a huge fan of like storybook retellings or Disney princess retellings. Controversial take, I'm not a huge like Disney person. I love Disney movies. I like watching the Disney Pixar films. But as for like princesses, I was never a huge princess girly growing up. I don't know why. I mean, when I was really little, I loved Mulan because I'm actually half Korean, even though it doesn't look like it. And I grew up not seeing a lot of representation, and seeing Mulan, even though she was Chinese and not Korean, I was in love with her because I felt like she was Asian and I could identify with that. So outside of that scope of involvement, I was never really super into Disney princesses, and I think as a consequence, I've just never really been interested in storybook or fairy tale retellings. And I felt the same about Shakespeare retellings, even though I know there's a lot of movies and books, like more than I ever even thought, that were retellings of Shakespeare's work. So I think I'm trying to get into it, and I wanted to start by something that really grabbed my attention, which is why I picked up the Fair Rosaline book, and I hope that it's super good. I'm really looking forward to getting into it and seeing how I like it. The next book I have on my TBR for the month, which I'm actually already reading
because it's already halfway through the month,
and I really, really love it, and I am so happy to be continuing the series. It is Powerless by Elsie Silver, and it is a part of the Chestnut Springs series. This is the third book, and it is about Jasper and Sloane. And this isn't a spoiler, it's all in the back. Jasper is a professional hockey player who grew up on the ranch with the rest of the family here featured in Chestnut Springs, the brothers Rhett and Cade and Bo. And he was kind of brought under their wing and raised as a brother. And Sloane is their cousin. Her mom is Rhett, Cade, and Bo's mom's sister. And she's really close with the boys. She's really close with Violet. Her family is super, wealthy. And Jasper is a professional hockey player, which I already mentioned. And they spent their whole lives kind of dancing around each other, and Sloane's always looked up to him and had like a huge crush on him, and this book is just their love story and how they get together, how they realize they want to be with each other. I'm gonna be honest, it's not the one I was looking forward to. I think I really enjoyed Rhett's the most so far. I am only 2.5 books into the series, so I can't really like definitively pick a favorite, but I really enjoyed Rhett's story. I liked Cade's story with Willa. I wasn't looking forward to Jasper's, honestly, and I'm not super interested in reading a book about his love story. And I think it's just because we get so little of him in the other books. So I'm more intrigued to learn his backstory and where he comes from and how he was kind of brought to the ranch and what that is like. And I'm also sort of interested in hearing about Sloane. Again, she's another character that just doesn't really pop up in the other books. So I don't have a reason to be invested. But so far, even though I don't want to say too much, I'm liking it well enough. I don't know that it'll be my favorite. I already anticipated this to be like a 4-star because I think that's what I gave the other ones. So I guess we'll see how it holds up. But nonetheless, I'm excited to continue the series because I absolutely love the world of Chestnut Springs, and I adore Elsie Silver's writing and how she portrays the characters. The next book on my TBR is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I am actually super duper excited to read this book. I only have read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I really liked that book. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like it, only because I had heard some really weird things about the book, and spoiler alert, it is
strange.
But it's good. I still liked it. I think I gave it like a 4.5 star, and I know that it's not normal for her in terms of the writing that she did and the characters and the world she built in Bride. but I loved it so much that I didn't feel like I was ready to dive into like normal Allie Hazelwood material yet. And she just recently came out with this book, which she writes in the beginning. There's a trigger warning here for her readers that it says this is tonally a little different from the works that she's published in the past, and that it's touching on a lot of really sensitive topics, and it's not really a rom-com, it's more of an erotic romance with serious themes. So not her traditional work, but I loved Bride so much that I just really want to try this one as well. And then, depending on how this one goes, dive into her more like established, like what she's known for, like The Check-in Mate and The Love Hypothesis. I feel confident that if I like 2 books by her, I should still like her more original, like what she's known for material. But this one was just calling my name. It looks really good. Honestly, I don't know a lot about it. I haven't even read the back of the book, and I'm not sure if I want to. I just really want to go into it without really knowing what I'm in for. I kind of did that with Bride. I sort of knew the premise, and I was really excited and pleasantly surprised the whole way. So I may skim the back a little bit and just kind of give myself a brief idea of what we're going into. But overall, I'm really wanting to just kind of dive into this one without knowing what I'm getting into first. The next book I have here on my August TBR is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This has been on my TBR for a long time, and I only recently picked up a copy of it, and I cannot wait to read this. I have heard so many amazing things about Ashley Poston as a writer, and I know that The 7-Year Slip and The Dead Romantics are the ones that are highly talked about, and I thought because this one fits with the theme that I would go with The Dead Romantics first. And it's just about a woman who is a ghostwriter for a romance author, and she has to go back to her hometown after 10 years because her father has passed away. And when she's at the funeral parlor, she runs into a ghost, and this ghost and her form a connection. And I think that it will be weird but fun and delightful. I mean, a lot of people talk about her writing, and they talk about the story and how she just has the ability to transport you somewhere else. I know that she has a new novel out called A Novel Love Story, and a lot of people had some good things to say about that, and I do want to pick that up, and it might be one that I pick up on my birthday trip. But before I get into any of her newer releases, I want to read her older releases, and this one just seems like a really interesting premise, and I do love me a little bit of like a paranormal aspect. Not a paranormal scary girl whatsoever. Cannot handle horror, cannot do suspense, do not sign me up for it. I did grow up in the era of like Supernatural and Being Human and The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. I don't know if any of you guys remember that show, but I just like a paranormal aspect to like a drama or a story or a romance, and I think that this will be really fun. Okay, so the last book I have here on my August TBR is another Book of the Month book called Honey by Isabel Banta. I hope I'm saying that right. First of all, a moment for the cover, please. Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, magnificent, never been done before. I love it. It's very Y2K. I love Y2K. Anybody who knows me knows that like my favorite aesthetic is Y2K fashion. I love super tacky, gaudy, over the top, cute decor and clothing, and this book screams that to me. It takes place in the early 2000s, well, late 90s, early 2000s, and it's about a pop star, and essentially aims to talk about her life and what it's like for her to be a pop star in the industry during that time, and the challenges she could face and the benefits of it. And I think in my head when I read the synopsis, it's kind of giving what I think that TV show The Idol by The Weeknd, right? He's the one who directed it. I think this book is giving what The Idol wanted to give and didn't. So I'm excited because I did not watch The Idol. I watched it through like reviews on YouTube and stuff, and I did not hear good things about it. And I'm hoping, because this one has a lot of good praise, that this book will really tackle that subject in a super interesting way and an entertaining way. Plus, I'm excited to be plunged into the world of the late 90s and early 2000s. I am a 90s baby. I was born in the mid 90s, so I did live a good part of the 2000s, like conscious and aware of everything that was going on. And I have a lot of nostalgia for that era. And being a teen pop idol was like everybody's wildest dreams. So I think just a story about that seems unique to me, and also the aesthetics of it are gonna be amazing. I can already tell. So I'm really excited to get into it. Okay guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video with me. That was my August TBR, and I'm again so sorry that it was so late in the month, but hey, better late than never, right? I really hope to be more consistent with my content moving forward. I want to do a wrap up soon. I'm not sure if I want to do like a mid-year wrap up or if I want to just do a wrap up of the last couple months. I do want to do maybe the mid-year book tag. I think my problem is that I don't consume nearly enough books on like a monthly basis to give a really good, like well-rounded wrap up. So I feel a little bit self-conscious. I have so many things going on in my daily life that make it really difficult to always be able to read large amounts of books, and I not wanting to focus on how many books I read. I think I'm just trying to focus on the fact that I do read and that I really do want to make content and share the things that I'm reading, and I have plans to do vlogs and more book hauls and maybe like book type things. I'm not really sure. If you guys have any ideas or anything that you would like to see from me, please leave a comment down below and let me know. And other than that, thank you again so much. I hope you enjoyed my video today. I will see you in the next one, and please remember to like or subscribe to my channel if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, bye!